Tales from the Manor. For condensed and reimagined tales of horror, suspense, sci-fi, and a dabble of fantasy. Today's tale is Something in the Attic.
When Lydia and Tom bought their first home, they were enchanted by its charm. A Victorian fixer-upper at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac, it had character, creaky wooden floors, stained glass windows, and a sprawling attic with a single, narrow staircase leading up to it. The realtor had mentioned the attic as a blank slate for potential renovations, but neither of them had ventured up there during their walkthrough. It wasn't until they moved in that the attic began to command their attention. It started with small, almost imperceptible noises. Lydia, unpacking boxes late into the evening, would pause, thinking she'd heard a soft thud or the faint shuffle of movement overhead. Tom dismissed it as the house settling or squirrels scampering across the roof. But as the days turned into weeks, the noises became more distinct. One night, while they lay in bed, Lydia elbowed Tom awake. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. Tom groaned, half asleep. "What now?" "There's something up there. Listen." The house fell silent for a moment before it came, a slow, deliberate creak, as if someone was shifting their weight on the attic floorboards. Tom sat up, his brow furrowing. "It's probably just an animal," he said, though his voice lacked conviction. "I'll check it out in the morning." The next day, armed with a flashlight and a broom, Tom ascended the attic stairs while Lydia watched nervously from below. The attic was dim, the single bulb overhead casting long shadows that made the corners seem darker than they were. Dust hung in the air, catching the light as Tom's footsteps echoed across the floor. "Nothing," he called down. "Just old boxes and some cobwebs." Lydia relaxed, but only slightly. "Did you check everywhere?" she asked. Tom rolled his eyes but obliged, sweeping the flashlight beam across every corner. It was then that he noticed something odd. In the farthest corner of the attic, partially hidden behind an old trunk, was a trapdoor in the floor. "Hey, did you know there was another door up here?" he called. "What?" Lydia's voice was faint from below. Tom approached the trapdoor cautiously. It was small, barely large enough for a person to fit through, and secured with a rusty latch. He hesitated, his instincts prickling. "I'll check it later," he muttered, heading back downstairs. But even as he tried to forget about it, the trapdoor lingered in the back of his mind. That night, the noises returned, louder than ever. This time, it wasn't just creaks and shuffles. Lydia swore she heard something dragging across the floor. "We're calling an exterminator," she said the next morning, her face pale from lack of sleep. "I don't care if it's rats, squirrels, or whatever. I want it gone." The exterminator arrived that afternoon. He was a grizzled man with a thick accent and a no-nonsense attitude. After an hour in the attic, he came back down, shaking his head. "No nests, no droppings, no signs of animals at all," he said. "But that—" He hesitated, glancing back up the stairs. "That trapdoor you got up there? Might want to check it out. Could be something inside." Tom and Lydia waited until evening, their curiosity outweighing their fear. Armed with a crowbar, Tom pried the rusty latch open. The trapdoor creaked, revealing a small dark crawl space beneath the attic floor. A foul, musty smell wafted up, making Lydia gag. "What is that?" she asked, covering her nose. Tom shone his flashlight into the opening. The beam illuminated a narrow, dirt-floored space filled with discarded items. Yellowed papers, a cracked porcelain doll, and a small mattress. It was filthy, stained with something dark and unidentifiable. "Someone was living here," Tom said, his voice tight. "Living?" Lydia's voice rose. "You mean, like recently?" Tom didn't answer. He reached into the space and pulled out one of the papers. It was a handwritten note. the words scrawled in uneven, almost frantic handwriting. They hear me. They know I'm here. Must stay quiet. Must stay hidden. The discovery left them shaken, but the worst was yet to come. That night, Lydia woke to the feeling of being watched. She sat up, her eyes darting around the room, and froze. In the doorway, illuminated by the faint glow of the nightlight, stood a figure. It was hunched, its limbs too long, its head cocked at an unnatural angle. Its eyes glinted in the darkness. "Tom," Lydia whispered, her voice trembling. "Tom, wake up." But when she blinked, the figure was gone. The doorway was empty. The next morning, Lydia insisted they call the police. An officer arrived and searched the house, including the attic and the crawl space. But like the exterminator, he found nothing. Could have been a trick of the light, he offered, though he didn't sound convinced. Lydia and Tom decided to stay at a hotel the following night, unable to endure another sleepless evening. But as they packed their bags, the noises began again, louder, more insistent. It sounded like footsteps, heavy and deliberate, moving down the attic stairs. Tom grabbed a bat and positioned himself near the bedroom door. "If it's someone messing with us, they're about to regret it," he muttered. The footsteps stopped just outside their room. For a moment, there was silence. Then, the doorknob began to turn. Lydia screamed as the door burst open. The figure stood there, its grotesque form fully visible now. It wasn't human. Its skin was pale and stretched tight over its bones, its eyes black and glistening. It let out a guttural hiss and lunged at them. Tom swung the bat, connecting with a sickening crack. The creature stumbled back, its limbs twisting unnaturally, as it fled up the stairs and into the attic. Tom slammed the door shut and called the police, his hands shaking. When the officers arrived, they found the attic empty. The trapdoor was sealed, and there were no signs of forced entry. But something had changed. The air in the house felt heavier, darker, as if whatever had been living there had left its mark. Tom and Lydia sold the house within weeks, moving far away from the quiet cul-de-sac. They never spoke of the incident again, but both carried the scars, not physical, but mental, of what they had seen. The new owners reported no strange activity, but the trapdoor remained sealed. Still, neighbors occasionally reported seeing a shadow in the attic window at night, long and hunched, watching.